sunny afternoon on Dalal Street. 300 points higher for the Sensex now, and the Nifty is gunning for a century today. So almost 90 points in the green for the Nifty. The stock that's surging now is L&T. It's at the high point of trade, and this has been a big mover since its numbers came in this quarter. It's given you 20% return since its Q4 numbers. That's the kind of momentum that L&T has generated. Look at that, 3.5% higher now. But let's get some stock calls going. Sandeep Wagle joins in. Sandeep, turning out to be a very good day, much to everyone's surprise. What is the expectation for the rest of the day, and what are your stock picks?
Good afternoon, Sonia. I would talk of the Nifty going towards 8280, maybe not today, but by tomorrow. And stock specific, I would go with a buy in a SBI, stop loss 211, target 229. A buy in a CESC, stop loss 560, target 600. And a buy in a Vedanta, stop loss 116, target 126.
Okay, Sandeep, just a word on the index also. How would you trade it?
Well, Anuj, I would go long on any bit of a correction. I don't expect more than a 30-point correction at any bit of time. I think 8180 was that level when it broke out. A fresh long has been generated. And in case of any move towards that, I would buy it for 100 rupee upside and a kind of a 8130, 8140 stop loss. I'm talking of the June futures levels.
Okay, Sandeep, thanks a lot for those trading ideas. Well, let's get some fundamental view and also some stock ideas. Rajesh Kothari of Alpha Accurate Advisors now joins us. Rajesh, hi, good afternoon. Good to have you on the show.
Good afternoon.
We were just discussing that last quarter earnings clearly presented green shoots. Looking at that and looking at the overall setup, what's your call on the market now? Do you think in the second half of this year, this market will inch higher, make a move towards previous highs, or would that be too optimistic?
No, I think it is quite possible. Because if you look at last 10 years, the earnings growth and Sensex returns goes hand in hand, So if you see FY08 to FY16, while the earnings grew at a compounded rate of 6%, market also delivered 6% returns. The fourth quarter, if you look at ex-banking and ex-OMC, oil and marketing companies, the earnings growth, EBITDA growth is double digit for the first time after so many quarters. And we all believe and expect that second half, the economic recovery is going to be much stronger. And if that remains true, then earnings growth also is going to bounce back. Probably you will see 15 to 20% earnings growth in second half. And therefore, to expect market also to deliver, because last year if you see the market was -8. Market delivered -8%. So from -8, if the earnings growth recovers, then surely we expect positive growth for market as well.
Okay, well, some of the stocks that you guys have picked up have been multi-baggers up until now and delivered very good earnings. So whether it is names like Maruti, Motherson Sumi, Hitachi Life, all been doing very well. Do you is there a case to be built for more value in names like this, or do you think that now you should look for values outside?
No, surely. I think it is going to be a mixed response. Well, in some stocks, you may continue to see value, but in some stocks, I think the margin of safety is not in your favor. So we need to keep identifying the new stocks, probably in the same sector. So if you look at, for example, the consumer durable, the space on which we are very bullish, we had Hitachi, 1.5 years back, picked up around 300, and now it is 1200 plus. But now incrementally, we have bought more of Whirlpool. And we have probably added even Bajaj Electrical in our portfolio in last 2-3 months. So I think consumer durable is going to be a very, very interesting space, and I think you might see this space to give you probably 25-30% compounded earnings and probably similar kind of a stock returns from this kind of a companies.
Even from current levels?
Even from current levels. So I'm saying from current levels, we do see companies like, for example, Bajaj Electrical is a very good company. Yes. The market size is good, the leader in market, top 5 players in its own space, and trading at probably below 15 times price to earning multiple with a return on net worth of 18-20%. So as their strategy of, this distribution strategy works out, maybe second half of FY17, then you will see stock also to deliver well.
Okay, what about a stock like Motherson Sumi, which had, of course, before the correction it was a huge multi-bagger, but the correction has been quite brutal as well, and there are some global headwinds as well for Motherson Sumi.
Absolutely, for companies like Motherson Sumi, it was a difficult phase in last 2 quarters, particularly from the global customer perspective, because Volkswagen was facing serious issues. But I think as that issue is now probably settling, and if you see the even Volkswagen numbers is also now settling in terms of the car volume growth, I think companies like Motherson has a very bright future. And there was a client specific issue. As that client specific issue gets addressed, you will see again the upside started coming in. So even we have reduced Motherson Sumi in between when there was problem, but we have again started looking at Motherson Sumi and added back into our portfolio.
Okay, you spoke about two stocks in the consumer durable space, Whirlpool and Bajaj Electrical. What about in the cement space? Shree Cement has given you great returns up until now.
True.
In fact, every day it hits new highs. Okay, by the way, look at the Nifty, Anuj, 8200 is here. Well, that's something that we expected, right? It was gunning for a century anyway, and now it's getting to that level. Coming back to that point, in cement, are you still sticking with Shree Cement, or have you added new companies to your portfolio?
We are holding Shree Cement even at current levels because I think it's a fantastic company with probably the most efficient company in the cement space. Of course, the valuations are also has been now quite it has gone up in last 2.5 3 years. So we have added few mid cap names. For example, companies like JK Cement. We have added in a portfolio. We've added JK Lakshmi. We are holding Ramco Cement. So cement, I think, as a space is going to do very well over next 1.5 to 2 years because as the consumption related demand grows up compared to just infrastructure demand, I think the EBITDA margins has a significant room from current levels.
Okay, HDFC Bank has led this move towards 8200 on the index. In fact, the Bank Nifty is really spectacular. 237 point higher is what we have on the Bank Nifty. Rajesh, just stay on with us. It's a big rally right now taking place on the index. Ashwini, any incremental call? Do you think it's time for traders who are on sidelines to just jump in and buy even now, or should they wait for any kind of consolidation or minor correction?
Well, you were consolidating for last couple of days. I think the size of this move from the lows shows that probably the downside is over, and maybe you could have a mild downside to 8150, 8170 because that now becomes a strong support. But overall, I would think that the correction is over, and not only banks, IT has come back, Infosys is participating. So I can't say, what will take the market lower. So definitely get out of shorts and start building long positions. As far as stock calls that right now are concerned, Hind Petro is a buy with a stop of 810, target of 835. Larsen is a buy with a stop of 1475, target of 1560. Ultratech Cement is a buy with a stop of 3300, target of 3450. Get into private banks, both HDFC, Yes Bank, ICICI Bank, all of them seem to have completed decent corrections.
Okay, so a lot of big buy calls coming in over there. Look at Yes Bank up almost 0.5% right now. Big moves on these stocks. Rajesh, you were telling us about some of these names like JK Lakshmi Cement, etc. What do you do with some of these institutional favorites which have been big multi-baggers in the past? So, names like Britannia or SRF or even something like an ITD Cementation. Do you continue to own them because they're great stories, but the run-up has been quite big?
You're right. So, for example, companies like, we are very bullish on food space. On overall consumer, the two space where we are very bullish is, one is consumer durable, second is food, and third is consumer finance. These three have been our biggest overweights in last 2 years, and we continue to buy new stocks in that kind of a basket. So, for example, companies like Britannia, I think is a huge opportunity because as the government is focusing on more of creation of new jobs, there will be lifestyle change, and as the lifestyle change, there will be more upgradation to your food habits. So companies like Britannia, who doesn't only have the distribution expansion room, from the volume growth perspective, but also as an upgradation of consumer habit. So more from unorganized to organized, more from loose to pack, more from premium products, from a basic kind of a Parle G products kind of thing to a more good day and cream biscuit and so on and so forth. So I think it is going to be a great story over next 2.5 3 years. So while valuations are going to be always fair, you will never get this kind of a company's kind of a cheap kind of a valuation, but it's fair. I mean, because the earnings growth can be 18-20% compounding.
Okay, what about stocks like Maruti, for example? How would you approach it? We've seen yen worries. It's not that they have gone away, but all of a sudden the stock has recovered from 3,400 all the way up to 42, 4,300.
See, till the time the valuations are going to be reasonable, one will continue to own such companies. If you look at valuation of Maruti is trading at probably below 18 times FY 18. So when your volume growth is going to be in your favor, and the yen kind of risk will remain, yes. So if you ask me what is the risk factor, that remains clearly one of the risk factor. But if you look at last 5 years, many analysts have written report that Maruti will lose market share because of the upcoming competition. But what has happened to that? I think Maruti probably has gained market share in last 5 to 10 years, despite holding 50% market share in Indian passenger car industry. So I think Maruti is a stock which remains in our portfolio till the time the valuations become expensive. We will continue to own such company.
Okay, so finally then, before we let you go, because the market is in a great mood. By the way, 100 points now on the Nifty. Thank you very much. 8200 is here with ease, and the Sensex is at the high point, 350 points higher. We didn't think that this would be the ferocity of the move when we started off trade, so it's pleasantly surprised all of us. Very good moves coming in. The cash market volumes are quite high as well, more than 14,000 crores now. If I had to give you a blank check, at this point and tell you to invest into 3 or 4 non-index large caps, what would your top picks be?
Wow. Good. Thanks for
It's hypothetical.
Thanks for becoming client. Hypothetical at least. But yes, so we recently we have bought this few consumer durable names, so I'm positive on that. We are adding consumer finance space. So last time when I was in studio, probably I mentioned about Manappuram. At that time it was 25. The stock has almost doubled, probably more than doubled. We have added one microfinance company in our portfolio for our PMS client, that is Satin Credit. And we think this company has a good potential. Probably over next 3 to 4 years it can be doubler. So there is one more name which we are. So we are positive on consumer space, consumer finance, consumer durable, and food companies which are positioned in this space. So I think this space is going to be very, very interesting. And the valuation re-rating, apart from earnings growth, so you have 2 levers. One is earnings growth potential, and second is the valuation potential. So probably one can expect a good returns, from this kind of a companies.
Okay, but in terms of overall market valuation, do you get a sense that at least for the large caps we have run up a bit too much over the last 2 or 3 months, and there could be a bit of a pullback?
Yeah, it is always possible in this kind of market where we have seen one way upside move in last 2 months. It is possible, whether it is created by this Britain exit noise or whatever, although fundamentally there is no much change. But yes, the corrections are always possible, and I think one should use that as an opportunity to add to your asset class.
Okay, thank you for joining us and taking us through a lot of your stock ideas. You spoke about Manappuram, Satin Credit Care, Whirlpool, Bajaj Electrical, some of the stocks that he's added into the portfolio. That's Alpha Accurate Advisors with the multi-baggers that they see here on. Thanks, Rajesh. Well, for the market, it's looking very good. So let's get back to our guests now. Dipan, we were just discussing the moves that we've seen in some of these heavyweights. L&T has gone from 1200 to 1500, Maruti has gone from 3200 to 4200, and SBI as well now at 250. Where are you placing your bets now from the heavyweights?
I think still we remain with the private sector banks, the likes of say IndusInd Bank, Yes Bank, and amongst the smaller banks in that space would be DCB. And Kotak Bank, also another large cap bank, also comes to mind. So I think a large portion of the portfolio has to be in the private sector banks, and then there are these specialized NBFCs, the likes of say Bajaj Finance or SKS Micro, even the housing finance companies. I think very positive on that segment of the NBFCs as well. So that's, I think, one big bucket that investors could look at. And then of course, as your earlier speaker said, we are also very positive on the FMCG and the consumer oriented space. So within that, I think the Indian FMCG companies also make good investment bet at this point of time. And then a few specialized exporters or pharma companies which have done very well, maybe even a few IT companies, but one has to be very selective over there, because I think the larger companies in that space are kind of showing very flat growth. But there are a few interesting mid caps in pharma and IT which can still deliver that 15-20% returns to investors over the long term.
Okay, well, let's do one thing. Let's take a break on that note with the news. In fact, we shouldn't take a break because it's now 350 point higher is what we have on the Sensex, and the Nifty has actually hit that century that Sonia was asking for. So 102 point higher now on the Nifty, and the mid-cap index is lagging behind. That will happen on a day when you see so much big rally on the Sensex and Nifty. The Bank Nifty is up about 1.5% right now. Well, one more news piece which is there, of course, is the advanced tax numbers, and we got some of the big ones now. HDFC Bank is 1200 crores versus 1000 crores. ICICI Bank is a bit lower, 700 crore versus 850 crore. HDFC is flat, 465 crore. Tata Steel is way higher, 170 crore versus 105 crore. Our old friend Arun Giri is back with us. Arun from Tax Sutra, of course, and this is a collaboration between CNBC TV 18 and Tax Sutra that we are breaking this advanced tax numbers. Arun, take us through all the numbers.
Hey, thanks, Anuj. Good to be back. If you look at the big numbers, Anuj, the one takeaway that I see right now, glancing through these figures, the bank numbers look a little down. SBI is the big one. SBI usually is among the top 5 or 6 advanced taxpayers in the country, and SBI numbers are down 22.5%. Look at ICICI Bank again, must be around among the top 25 to 50 advanced taxpayers in the country, among the top 5 or 10 in Bombay. Their numbers are down 18%, 700 versus 850. Citibank is just marginally up. HDFC is flat, as you said. Reliance Industries is the biggie. Again, they are among the top advanced taxpayers. Their numbers are up 23%, 1,308 crores, 1,308 versus 1,060 last time. LIC is marginally up. The important thing, Anuj, is what Revenue Secretary Hasmukh Adia tweeted a couple of days ago. He said the indirect tax numbers are looking buoyant in the first 2 months. The collections of income tax in the first 2 months are looking decent, but we will get the real trend only after seeing the advance tax of Q1. These are the first trends of the advance tax in Q1. Doesn't look very buoyant, doesn't look too much on the negative as well. Difficult to make out what's the trend. We'll have to wait till evening or tomorrow to see more numbers, how they come in. But banks, clearly some of the big banks doing badly, Anuj. That's what I can see right now.
Okay, yes, Arun, thanks a lot for that. I think one more takeaway is that within sectors you have individual trends. For example, ICICI Bank has fallen, but HDFC Bank has gone up. So ICICI Bank has fallen from 850 to 700 crore, and HDFC Bank has gone up from 1,000 crores to 1,200 crore. And I think the stock market has pretty much told you what it thinks about some of these. Tata Steel, for example, it's seen a big rally, and the advanced tax numbers also justify that. 170 crore versus 105 crore is what we have. We'll take a break then.
Oh yes, we will. But before that, just wanted to leave you with the intraday chart of Coal India. That one is literally a V-shaped chart that we are seeing today, and that's the stock that's really moving with strength now. It dipped all the way to 305 today. Look at that chart, and now it's back to the high point, up almost about 0.5%. That's Coal India. So anything and everything is moving today. We'll come back with the last 20 minutes of trade, and our closing bell money control question of the day is: will you buy aviation stocks at current levels post the policy? Log on to moneycontrol.com, post your responses there, and we'll read out some of the fun responses post 3:30 p.m. We will also get you a check on the mood across the dealing rooms today on the other side of the break.